Hey everybody, it's Travis. It's Friday, May the 1st, and we are officially entering month 3 of the coronavirus. We've now been closed as of today for 7 full weeks to the public. It's kind of wild if you think back 8 weeks ago. I don't think any of us would have ever imagined or fathomed that we would be closed to the public for this long, and that this pandemic would play out quite the way it has. But it has, and you know we continue to kind of be in the middle. We're obviously impacted from a business standpoint fairly significantly. However, we're far from the worst, and we've had some real positives. Our work log continues to be strong. Most of our skilled trades folks, the upholsterers, are still working. We've been able to pivot, obviously, with the masks to generate some new revenue, to keep our seamstresses busy, to keep Tush busy, and of course even the sales staff and support staff here in Richmond have been very, very busy making masks. So that's been really, really positive, really great. Obviously, we've also been able to help out the hospital system, which is amazing, to help them out and get them kind of over the hump. Looking forward, it's going to be an interesting time, and we're going to see how this all continues to play out. As challenging as the last 7 weeks have been, I think, for everyone mentally, emotionally, the next 4 to 8 weeks may be equally as challenging, but in a different way. Obviously, you've seen the news. Some states are opening. Some folks are saying, no, we're not going to open, and I'm kind of in the middle on that, but I do realize that this coronavirus and COVID-19 is not going to go away. There is no stay at home for another week and stamp it out. It is going to be a new reality for us for the next 12, 18, possibly 24 months. So I think at this point, what business leaders, what politicians, what our communities in general need to do is focus on how do we move forward? How do we operate inside of this new normal, inside of these parameters? Obviously, with the stay-at-home orders, the idea was to flatten the curve. We all saw the charts with the big spike if we didn't, and the big long flat curve. The goal now is that we've gotten to the top, or to the flattening of the curve. The hospital systems have built up their capacity. They've increased their PPE, hence the mask we were building and many other things. And they're now in a much better place to handle these patients as they come in. So that was kind of step one of the master plan, or the high level plan. I think the part that many of us forgot about is that if you looked at that chart in that plan, that flattening of the curve wasn't a short flat and down, it was a long flat. Which means that, again, as I said, the virus is going to continue, and it's going to be a long-term solution. So again, over the next few weeks or next few months, it's going to be interesting to see how we kind of adapt and how we change, and how we kind of get back to some semblance of normal without really being normal. I predict that mask use is going to become ubiquitous pretty much across most businesses and establishments. It's getting there in places, but it's still got a long ways to go. I've heard that schools are going to go back. Definitely college. VCU told me yesterday that they're going back this summer. A lot of the colleges are announcing they're going back in the fall. I expect most public schools will as well. And so over the next few months, a lot of people are going to spend a lot of time planning and trying to figure out, how do we go back? How do we be safe? And so UFAB's in the same boat. How do we reopen? How do we continue to engage in business in a safe and respectful way, while still keeping the business afloat? I don't have all the answers. But we have some ideas. Our plan is to take a little bit of a wait-and-see approach. We're definitely not going to be the first ones out there to throw open the doors and say we're back open. We were one of the first to close. We took a leadership position there. We will not take a leadership position to open back up to the public. Some of our competitors have already opened back up, especially on the furniture side. Some never closed. So our plan going forward is in the next week we will open our showroom in Richmond to the trade. This will not be a publicly announced opening. We will be sending emails directly to our trade customers, and then also anyone that has a project they're working on will be available to come in on an appointment-only basis. Our middle room, our fabric room, will be closed to the public for quite some time. Folks that come into the showroom will have to wear masks, as will the people helping them. We're working on getting some hand sanitizer and things like that, and we're going to see how that goes. I don't expect to be a ton of folks, but that is kind of our plan of the moment, to try to start to ease back into some sort of new normal. And I think you're going to see a lot of that again from many businesses and organizations. Everyone's kind of going to spend this next few weeks really trying to figure out how do we learn to conduct business, how do we make this work. Curbside pickup and some of these things work to a certain degree, but some things don't translate as well as we'd hoped. Obviously, we haven't had a ton of luck with the virtual appointments and things like that we initially thought might work. So we're still navigating how that's going to work. But again, I am just trying to be transparent, open and honest, and share with you guys kind of where my head is at, and help prepare everybody for kind of what the next 3 or 4 weeks, or really a few months, is going to look like. When do I expect we'll open back up to the public fully? I really don't have that answer. My guess would be in early June, but right now that's really just a guess. And what that'll even look like, it's hard to say. Whether we limit our numbers. Obviously, we have a huge space, so we don't have a ton of traffic. Whether the fabric room's open again for a while, it probably won't. But again, we're going to take a little bit of a wait and see approach, and try to go slowly, as I think many other businesses will. So anyway, sorry it's not the most uplifting message this morning, but I just wanted to again communicate to everybody kind of where my head's at and where I see things going. Again, UFAB continues to be in a fairly strong position. We did get our PPP loan, which is very helpful. It gives us a lot of buffer, and it's going to help us get through the next while, as obviously sales aren't going to pop back up to, I'm sure, to where they were. Again, I still remain bullish that we're in a good market. Being in the home market is going to be the one place people can spend money. I don't see travel and large events and things like that coming back for a while. Probably, like I said, 6, 10, 12, 18 months. Those kind of things are really off the table. So people are going to have a lot of disposable income to spend on the home. So anyway, that's my message for today. Again, reach out if you need anything or if you want to chat. 804-898-0044. Thanks, guys.